Hi, and thank you for joining me in this episode of Miriam the Librarian Reviews. In this episode, we're going to be talking about nature apps. The first one is called Discover the Forest. This is a great website if you're interested in learning about the forest in your neighborhood or just down the street. I'm going to be putting in our zip code and see what we find. Once I put that in, you see a map of all the beautiful parks in our area. You could scroll up and down. I'm going to pick on the first one. You see our botanic gardens. You could also see how far it is from your house and how to get there. If you go down, you could visit your website and it'll give you all the information about visiting the UCR Botanic Gardens. Another great thing, it'll tell you your closest EV charging station. Some of the great aspects of this website is it has several features, activities, types of parks, and how close you want to be to the park you're searching. Activities is really informative, and resources tells you lots of things you can do as far as going with nature. So if you scroll down, I picked picnicking. I wanted to know, or I wanted to help kids know, how to do a picnic. All you need to create a picnic step-by-step guide. It's all here right at your fingertips. The nature app, Discover the Forest, is so full of information. You could stay here and look at all different kind of parks and resources, and it's really good to get you going. The next app that's really interesting is called I Seek by Naturalist. I Seek by Naturalist is really interesting. It has lots of information about animals and birds and plants. All you have to do is click on the one that you want to learn about. You could click all species, and as you could see, there's cactus that you could pick on just to see what's in your area. You could pick on fish, and it'll give you a large amount of fish, and even reptiles. If you click on a reptile, it'll tell you the origin, how many are in the area, where you could find them, their range map. So in 92506, it looks like they are around the area because of the green spots. The southern alligator lizard is native to Riverside, and its seasonality is April and May, so you might just see him around if you go for a walk. Another great thing about iNaturalist is you can look on other categories. Some of the categories are here. So I picked on mammals. Mammals could be all sorts of mammals, so they'll give you tons of choices. Bobcat, for instance. It'll tell you information about the bobcat and if there have been any bobcats sighted in the area that I put, Riverside. Remember, the green dots means that somebody has spotted a bobcat and has documented it on this map. So after I looked at mammals, I didn't know what I wanted to check out. I checked birds, fish, amphibians, plants. There's a lot of plants in Riverside, and when I go on my walks in nature, sometimes I don't know what they are, or sometimes I want to know if they're in the area. So I clicked on desert dandelions just to see. As you can see, they're not in Riverside. They are native to Southern California, though. The next one I picked out was Engelmann's hedgehog cactus. Same thing. They are native to Southern California, but not Riverside. That's okay, because if I want to go check them out, I'll just go to Palm Springs or Cabazon, and that's where I find them. That's the great thing about this app. It tells you where your plants are, how close they are, if anyone has spotted them. It's called Seek by iNaturalist. So I recommend this app if you're looking for things in your neighborhood and would like to identify them and to see how close they are. You could be surprised, they could be just around the corner. So the next app that I wanted to talk about was called Merlin by Cornell Lab. Cornell Lab was created by the people at Cornell University in the state of New York. It's one of the premier universities on the East Coast. This app can help you identify over 8,500 bird species. So if you're interested in finding out where that bird came from, how it sounds, this would be the app for you. If you click on the three lines, you can see that it has Start Bird ID, Photo ID, and Sound ID. So for that, I clicked on Start Bird ID. I put in Riverside, And these are the birds that came out that you might find in Riverside. You could also search by family, alphabetical, and location. I did location. So the first one was the Canada goose. Now it tells you all about the Canada goose, and that is uncommon in Riverside. So if you do see it, it's going to be a rare sight. The great thing about this app is it'll tell you other birds too. And it could tell you the calls of the birds. For instance, this is how it sounds. Another one that I picked was the wood duck. The wood duck is rare, so if you found this in Riverside, that would be something else. Here's also the sound it makes. So this app has lots of options and lots of ways to identify birds. You could scroll down the list. If the dot is red, it's rare. If it's orange, it's kind of rare, and then if you saw green, it would be a very common bird in Riverside. You could also explore birds. Also, if you saw a bird, you could put in where you saw it and you could identify it. You could put in the date, how big the bird was, what the colors are. Like let's say I saw a bird that was medium size, yellow. And where was the bird? Let's say I saw it on a fence or a wire. And this is what it would come up with. The Cooper's hawk. If this is your bird, you would click on this is your bird. Or even the band-tailed pigeon. These are all the options that you would have. Also, you could create your account by putting in all the birds that you can identify in this app by putting in your account. So once again, this is called Merlin. It's very easy to download on your iPad or your device, and it's super simple. Remember, you can get all these apps just by downloading Google Play or on the App Store.